Hey, what's happening, guys? It's Tyler from Valve News Network, and today I'm going to be talking about just what has Valve been doing for the last year. Here we go. Now, as most of you know, Valve is a very opaque company when it comes to talking about the work that it's actually doing. But the silence that Valve has been putting out lately has been quite unusual to me. So to be able to fully understand what Valve might be doing, let's first go back and take a look at what Valve has been doing that we actually know about. First of all, Valve announced the expansion of the Steam universe back in late 2013. The first thing they talked about in this Steam universe was the Steam controller, and the Steam controller was Valve's answer to the stagnant growth of video game controllers in the last 10 years. It was a new kind of design with touchpads and was supposed to be able to give the player complete control over any PC game in the palms of their hands. This controller was supposed to be released in 2014, but after a lot of different design revisions, it is supposed to be set for release in early 2015, but no one knows for sure. Now, the controller itself was one of the major additions to the Steam OS, and Steam OS was a Debian Linux-based operating system that was supposed to reach Valve's goal of a windowless, DirectX-less PC gaming market. This operating system was released in open beta in late 2013, and it's still in beta. There has, however, been many different bug fixes and updates since then, making it a more compatible operating system. On top of SteamOS, Valve has also been working on the Steam machines. The Steam machines being, of course, Valve's answer to the stagnant console gaming market and the way of the future in terms of Valve's ideas. There were supposed to be many Steam machines released by now. There haven't been that many released, and none of them really included anything new other than just being a set-top box PC. The Steam machine has yet to fulfill its full potential that Valve originally envisioned, and that just shows that that's another thing that Valve is actually working on. Valve has also been doing many new things with Steam over the last year, including adding music, software, and is now looking into streaming movies and TV shows. Now, to any person looking from the outside into Valve, it seems like Steam is the only thing that they're really focusing on. However, I know this is not the case, because Valve has actually been periodically updating their three main games: Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dota 2, and Team Fortress 2. However, there has not been a major or minor content update since mid-December 2014. And on top of that, the major updates for Counter-Strike Global Offensive and Team Fortress 2 have been quite lackluster, to say the least. Valve states that Dota 2 will also not receive a major update until this major engine update occurs. This, of course, means that Dota 2 is being brought over to Source 2, and this is supposed to be happening within the first half of 2014. Now, if Dota 2 is being moved over to Source 2, then I have no doubt that Team Fortress 2 and Counter-Strike will also be moved over to Source 2. Now, the only reason I bring these things up is because Valve is actually doing something that no one really knows about. At the 2015 Game Developers Conference, there is going to be a panel called glNext, the future of high-performance graphics, and it's apparently being put on by Valve. There are other gaming company developers going to be at this panel, but Valve will be the one actually putting it on, and Valve will have their own developers at the panel as well. Now, glNext, in case you don't know, is the follow-up API to OpenGL, the graphics API that Valve absolutely embraces and loves. Now, I have to reiterate that Valve has a dream of a windowless, DirectX-less gaming market, and Valve completely embracing a new OpenGL instead of a DirectX is completely following those dreams. This, first of all, states that SteamOS will fully support whatever is next for the OpenGL API, and also it makes me think that Source 2 will fully embrace this API as well. Now, this panel is actually called The Future of High-Performance Graphics, and if Valve is putting this on, Valve is the one that has to demonstrate what these high-performance graphics are going to look like. How do you demonstrate the next generation of high-performance graphics? You don't do it with an old game, you do it with a new game. Now, they could just demonstrate a souped-up version of Dota 2, but I feel that this is an excellent time to be able to show off Source 2. And they can show off Source 2 with any of the games that we know are being developed, like Left 4 Dead 3 or Half-Life 3. Now, I doubt they'll actually just go out and announce Half-Life 3 at the Game Developers Conference, but I do think we're going to get a taste of something that we have yet to see. It is completely possible that Valve might premiere a completely new IP at the Game Developers Conference this year. We already know that they developed things like Stars of Blood and completely canned them, so Valve is completely capable of creating new IPs at this time. And let's think about the actual games that Valve has made in the last couple of years. The actual game that Valve themselves developed in-house was Portal 2, and that was released in April of 2011. Valve has had much time to be able to develop any kind of new game to come out, and no new game has come out. Now, it is worth stating that the Half-Life series has always served as sort of a tech demo for whatever engine Valve puts out. Half-Life was definitely the tech demo for the Gold Source engine, and Half-Life 2 was very much the tech demo of the Source engine. So I do expect Half-Life 3, or whatever the next Half-Life game is, to be the tech demo of Source 2, or whatever that engine ends up being called. But will Valve actually show off one of these games at the Game Developers Conference this year? Well, the panel is very early March, so we'll know by then, but it isn't being, like, streamed or recorded or anything, so keep a lookout for anything that I say, because I will be looking everywhere for everything that's going on at that panel. But all I know is you should probably look forward to the Game Developers Conference this year, even though Valve might not announce anything. It always has some kind of great news. So thank you for watching. In case you don't know, I'm Tyler McVicker. This is Valve News Network. I do a bunch of Valve videos about Valve stuff all the time. I love Valve. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, favorite, comment, do all that stuff. It helps me out. If you want to watch some of my live streams, which I do them all the time, and I take them very seriously, check out my Twitch channel. Link is in the description. If you want to know what I'm doing at any time related to Valve, check out my Steam group, Valve News Network. Link also in the description. But thanks for watching, guys. As you know, I'm Tyler McVicker. This is Valve News Network.